Hey, good morning. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Want to get this out and have Facebook go to work. Let's see if they'll get out there and Facebook find my people. Here we go. Let's see. I think we're about there. There we go. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. I want to welcome you here today. It is Tuesday, January the 14th, 2020, and this is going to be another fantastic day because that's the way I choose for my day to be. You see, I start the show every morning out the same way. That's the way I choose for my day to be. Because it is your choice to decide whether you're going to have a good day or a bad day. It is your choice to decide whether or how you are going to react to the day. You see, most people don't really have a bad day. Most people who think they've had a bad day had a bad 5 minutes that they milked all day long. And that's what made a bad day for them. You see, it is not what happens to us. It is the way we react to it that makes whether we have a bad day or not. So it is within us, within ourselves, it is our choice to decide whether we're going to have a good day or not. Good morning, Randy Davis. Good morning, Connie Davis. Hey, Richie Bello. Glad to see you guys here. Nat Banks, glad to see you here. Mike Mills, glad that you're in here this morning. Mary Ann, hey, Mom, how are you? Glad to have you here. Laura Berman, glad you jumped in here. Wanda Day, glad you're here. My goodness, we got a lot of people jumping in early. So glad you guys are here today. This is going to be a great day. What I want to talk today is about creating a real change in your life. So you see, a lot of us really decide that we want to have a change in our life. We want something better for our life. Now, in a lot of cases, we struggle with that because a lot of people don't know what they really want. A lot of people go out and go through the motions and they wish and they want for a better life. But when you ask them, what is it you want? What is it you want to be different? How is it you want to create a change in your life? What would that look like? What would you look like? Who would you be hanging around with? What would you be doing? They have troubles answering that. They just know they want something different. You see, wanting something different is not bad. It's not unusual, but we will never create real change in our life until we know what we're shooting for. You see, it doesn't matter whether you're on a gun range or you're on an archery range or whatever. If you don't know what the target is, you're not going to hit it. Now, you could pull out an AK-47 and just start spraying bullets, right? And maybe you'd hit it and maybe you wouldn't. But do we really want to put all of our efforts everywhere to create change? Or is our time better spent being laser focused, getting that laser eyesight on and zooming right in on our target and hitting it? You see, to create real change, here's the biggest key. We have to shut off the cruise control. Now, I'm not talking about your car, although the metaphor is still the same. You see, we still need to keep driving toward our destination, and we need to know what that destination is. Think about it for a second. If you want to go on vacation, and today we really don't have travel agents the way we used to, but what is the first thing they're typically going to ask you? No, it's not where do you want to go, although that is very important. It's where are you starting from? Where are you going to fly out of, right? where is the beginning point? You have to know where you are today. You see, a lot of times we are going through motions out of absolute habit. We have the cruise control set. We do the same things in the same order every single day. Now, some days we're aware of what's going on and what we're doing. There's a lot of cases, if we don't follow the same patterns, the same habits every day, we tend to let something slip. We tend to let something fall. So habit is not a bad thing. What becomes the bad thing is when we do things so much out of habit that we are not mentally, positively, absolutely mentally engaged with what we're doing. You see, if we are doing things so much of habit, our mind can check out. Our mind can go into cruise control, and we can just keep going right along the same path, and we can still get to the destination. And we miss all of the fantastic scenery. We miss everything else going on around us because we're just going through the motion. You see, a lot of cases, we might pass somebody that we know on the street. We might pass a friend. We may have somebody that we haven't seen in a long time waving at us, and we don't know because we become so tunnel visioned in riding on that cruise control that we don't even notice. I guarantee you, when you get up in the morning, you have a morning routine and you do things in the same order. And if things don't happen in a certain order, frequently you'll find, dang, I forgot to do this morning, right? If we don't do things in a certain order before we head out the door in the morning, frequently something gets left behind. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do things in the same order, but take time to think about what you're doing. When we get in the car and we drive to work, we drive the same pattern every day. How often have you been on a road that you drive every day, but now you're not heading to work, you're heading somewhere else? Or now you're not driving home, you needed to make a stop before you headed home, but you made that turn just the same way you would all the time to head home, and you forgot, oh, that's right, I meant to go here instead. Right? It happens. We get so focused every day when we leave work that this is our pattern. Maybe we're heading on home instead of heading to the store because we needed to pick something up for dinner before we headed home, right? Maybe we needed to get those light bulbs. We needed to stop and get gas. We needed to do whatever before we headed home. But we got so focused on the fact that we were heading home, we set the cruise control, we forgot, right? So many times what we really need to do is turn off the cruise control. Make sure that our mind is so engaged, our hands and our feet, all of your activities are so engaged that now if you want to create change in your life, what we really need to do is change our habits. You see, to become a different person, we have to start doing things differently. To become the person that we need to be in order to be able to achieve these goals in our life, to create a different life, we have to create different behavior. If we want positive relationships, if we want loving relationships with our family, with our friends, with our spouse, if we want those close personal connections, we have to start doing things differently, assuming you don't have it now, right? We need to take time to let those people in our lives know how important they are to us. When was the last time that you did that? Because we cruise control along so often that we forget to say thank you. Things get taken for granted because they fall into that comfort zone or the cruise control, and everything becomes so normal that we don't take time to appreciate and let others in our lives know how important they are to us, how what they're doing for us is important to us, how much we appreciate the effort that they put in for us. right? If we don't take the time to do that, if we don't take the time to reach out to our children, to our parents, to our siblings, if we don't take the time to connect with them, how do we expect to have better relationships? But we get in such cruise control that we don't even remember to do it. We don't think consciously about doing it until suddenly we're no longer on cruise control because everything is done, and now we take the time to think. But many times our lives become so cluttered, we have so many things to do, we fall into such habit every evening. I need to watch this show, I need to do that, I need to do this over here, I need to check my email, I need to check social media, right? We get to doing the same things in the same ways. In a lot of cases, we forget that I need to call my parents. I need to call my sister or my brother. I need to call my children, right? I need to call my best friend. It's been a long time since we connected. Take the time to reach out. There are times we get to work and we go through the same habits every day. Maybe we get to work, you find a place to hang up your coat, right? You go and you boot up your computer, you log in. Maybe you check your email first thing, see if there's anything pressing you need to respond to right away. And then probably somewhere in there you head to the coffee machine, right? But we get to doing things so much out of habit, and we get to now doing the same things because we have a morning routine at work too, that sometimes we forget that what we really wanted to accomplish for the day was over here. But we're so focused here that we don't even look up because we're on cruise control. We don't even look up to do the activity that we know is going to take us to our goal because we've got the cruise control set. My friends, we have to start making conscious decisions. And when we take activity and we're doing it every single day out of habit, that those habitual activities take over our minds so much that we get lost in conscious versus subconscious activity. Those habits become so repetitious, they are part of our subconscious, and we've lost the conscious decisions. To make real change, you have to make conscious decisions to change. And you will not be able to do that until you turn off the cruise. Start making conscious decisions. Start looking for what you want to be. Now, here's the other part. When you have a goal, when you have a destination where you want to be, you not only need to know where you're starting from, you need to take inventory of what you have. You need to decide how you're going to get there, but you need to know where you're heading. Again, I'm going back to what I said earlier. A lot of us never know how to get a different life because we don't know what a different life means. Decide what that means for you. Write it down. Write it down what it is you want to be different. Write down that goal that you want to achieve. Now, in traveling to that destination, we need to decide how we're going to get there. How do we need to change? Who do we need to be? What resources do we need along the way? Are you going to fly? Are you going to drive? Same thing, right? But getting to our goal, we need to decide, do we need more education? Do we need funding? Do we need whatever? So you can start putting the pieces in place. Do we need to change these activities? Do I need to start searching for a different job? Decide, one, where you are now. Two, where it is that you want to go and what that looks like, who you would be, who you'd be hanging with, what habits would you have in place, what would you need to get there, and then start deciding what those pieces you need to put in place are. Once you decide, now the real activity comes. Now it's time to start moving forward. But before you put it in gear, decide, I'm not using the cruise control. To make real change, I'm going to shut off the cruise and I'm going to take conscious responsibility for my life. You see, my friends, having that positive day, it's up to you. Either way, whatever that decision is that you are going to hit towards to make change in your life, you have to make conscious, not subconscious, decisions. Change your habits, change your life. Shut off the cruise. Hey, a couple other people I saw jump on here real quick. Liam Lancaster Brooks, Bay Gagney. Glad you're here. Glad you joined us. My friends, if this has been meaningful for you today, reach up and hit that share button. Share this out with your family. Share this out with your friends. Join us every single Monday through Friday right here at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for Chainbreakers 365 Live. If you have trouble finding us live, you can always see us on replay. And if not, then go to my YouTube channel, Chainbreakers 365, or you can go to chainbreakers365.com where you can find the entire library of videos. Best way still is to do this live right here with all of our friends for Chainbreakers 365. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic and be amazing today, my friends. Bye now.